everybody. What's up,
Greetings.
nerds? What's up?
Hey.
Hello. Welcome to another episode of Nerd Variety Podcast. I'm Josh, and I'm joined by the lovely Hannah Headbanger Hogan.
Thank you. Yeah, occasionally. Give me in a
Always
good mood and yes.
Always headbanging.
Yeah, listen to that metal.
Yeah.
And we are joined by Hunter the Hedgehog Rafferty.
Okay. I feel like I'm offended by that.
Prickly on the
Why are
outside,
you
but got
offended
a vulnerable tummy.
Yeah.
What about my tummy? Are you saying I'm fat?
No, I said you're vulnerable.
Most people are vulnerable around their
That's
stomach area.
You mean
Yeah.
dragons?
And hedgehogs.
Hedgehogs.
Okay.
Yeah. I'll
Well,
say dragon.
hedgehogs are basically small dragons with
No,
quills.
they're rodents, man.
Whatever.
This is last week's conversation.
Fine.
Okay.
Anyway, but yeah, we hope everyone is making it through this pandemic. Whether you're working, if you're stuck at home with family, or just stuck at home because can't work, or you're just actually sick. We hope you guys hang in there and just get the power through. We can all do this. If you're, most cases, we know everyone's social distancing. If you're not, please help us flatten that curve, please.
For the love of God,
I'm
stay
trying to flatten the
home.
curve with my hands.
Yeah.
Stay home if you have to.
Me and Hannah, like you can see, we're not even on Earth.
No, we've left.
Yeah. I'm in a basement crypt somewhere. No,
In
I
a
don't need
bunker.
anybody. In a bunker.
See,
Just waiting for it to fall down.
All I can think of with you though is you look like you're on stage at an open mic night or something at a comedy club.
Well, you would hear applause if that was true, but
That's
But
assuming
nobody
you're funny.
ever applauds you. Yeah, applauds.
Oh, excuse me.
Yeah.
Just
Well,
leave
yes.
the quips to me, Hunter. Thank you.
Well, you've
hurt my-
learned from me.
It's hurt my feelings.
hmm I'm sorry.
But yeah, social distancing sucks, but you can be close to friends and family by playing.
I love social distancing. What are you talking about?
But most people are usually around people more often. Our extroverted friends are not okay, as you may have seen from several videos and memes. But you can play a good multiplayer video game, or just a multiplayer game online with your friends and family.
The key thing is online, not in person.
Yes. We're watching you, all of us.
We're all watching you.
Yeah, we can see everything.
We've hacked into your cameras.
Yeah, but we're not going to pop into your Zoom feed.
No.
Unless you want us to.
You need to be careful about that too. Apparently, some creepers are doing that.
Yep.
Yes.
Yep.
Creeping. But you have many options for an online multiplayer game, whether it be a card game or a party game, or an RPG or a shooter. We can all still play those. Just get your friends together, hit them up, and play a game. Yeah.
Don't actually hit them though.
No, stay far away from them.
Yeah, because
Stay
we want to avoid.
We're going to just keep
contact.
saying this over and over. Don't touch them.
Yeah, you want to be in throwing distance of them.
Yeah.
And don't be like, probably me a lot of times. It looked like Hannah just did it too. And don't touch your face.
Yeah, don't touch your face.
It's bad.
Hunter,
I have a
Hannah,
problem with that sometimes.
Josh.
Yeah, I think all of us do.
Yeah,
I
it
never go
sucks.
anywhere. So.
Yeah. Yes.
The only things I'm touching are my things, so if I'm getting it by touching myself, I already have it.
Yeah. Just waiting for it. Just wait for it to kind of boot up.
No.
But there are free and pay for play options to choose from. But there are a lot of them. I can think of one funny one off the top of my head. It's called "They Can't Stop All of Us." Have y'all heard of that one?
I have not.
Yeah, that
heard of
was last September when they were going to do the raid, right?
Yeah. I think it took me back to a a different time. It seems so long ago that when the raid happened, but it was the different like there were different zeitgeists back then. But going back to it, it's like, oh, this is cool, and it references all the memes that you can play with other people, and it seems like a really fun game.
Was that a card game or a video game? Or?
No, it's a free to play Steam game.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Nice.
you can play as friends. You can play with your friends. You can be either on team, Area 51 defending the base, or you can be on team invaders or attackers. Yes, it's great.
Nice.
The attackers are Naruto running into the base, into the front
Naturally.
gate before they can be shot down. You can like have like giants helping you out, and I'm pretty sure if you get into the base, you can find maybe some cool weaponry. It's worth checking out. If you're defending the base, you can be like a rifleman or a heavy gunner. Or you can make barricades / machine guns to keep the intruders out. It seems like a really fun little in the tower game with some interesting elements added onto it.
Sounds interesting. I have never heard of it.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, we should all try to play sometime. If my Steam will work where I am.
I've been trying to get you all to play games with me, and no one does it. Hannah does it sometimes, but like not really.
All you're wanting to play recently is Assassin's Creed, which is single player.
That is not all I'm wanting to play. I'm wanting to play like The Division, Breakpoint.
So you're wanting me to spend money
Destiny.
on games that you already own.
Destiny doesn't cost anything, and that's another great one. Right now, I'm just gonna say Destiny 2. It is free to play, and that is a lot of content right now in the free to play. There's also an upgrade pack that you can purchase, though I wouldn't recommend it unless you're like at a point where you're really into the game and you just want more content. Because there's a lot to do already, and they're on a season pass now. So they keep introducing new elements. Again, some of it, if you choose to purchase the season pass, you get access to more things, and sometimes it's just you get some gear or something sooner. Sometimes it's just you have a few new things that you can do. But I like it. Again, there's still a lot of content that you can get for free. You get the main campaign and the first 2 expansions. And then you have all the online multiplayer stuff. So you have most of the strikes, which are like dungeons, instances, whatever you want to call them. They're like three-player instance runs or whatever. And then there's the Crucible, which is like PvP modes, player versus player modes.
Yeah, got a big crowd playing right now, or.
Oh yeah, there always seems to be a pretty big crowd, and then of course there's also raids. But Hannah's tried most of one of those with me, and she'll tell you they're.
How could I do that if I never played with you?
They're complicated. I'm saying you haven't been lately. But it's great.
That was an interesting way to introduce your game of choice, Hunter.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Hannah never plays games with me, especially this one.
Yes. Hunter, we'll have to plan a day, and we'll have to pick a game that can work with that I can work with my setup, and we'll play.
Well, I have another one to add, but I'll wait and let Hannah have her turn, and then you can have your second turn, and then I'll talk about it.
There didn't sense any shade at all in that. Hannah, what kind of game What kind of game do you have for us?
Well, I'm going to take things to a little bit of a more relaxed route than a first-person shooter or a game where we're going to try and infiltrate Area 51. I'm actually a big fan of. I play a lot of sort of chill games. I like Stardew Valley and Minecraft, the first 2 that come to mind. Both very relaxed. Multiplayer.
Yeah.
Stop it. Sort of experiences. Where if you're looking for a chill time, you can just plant some vegetables or build a house or like.
But you shouldn't
try
be going
not
outside.
to get blown up.
No. You should be going outside. You can do those.
That's true, but you shouldn't be.
You can do those things at your house, which I think a lot of people are doing at their house right now. Their real life house right now.
Mm-hmm.
But you can play with friends, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So Stardew Valley and Minecraft both have multiplayer. And lots of content. I mean, Minecraft is literally basically endless.
Yeah,
I don't
10 years of
I don't
gameplay.
understand the appeal of Minecraft. I tried it
we know,
like
so just
a long time ago, and I'm like, there's nothing to do.
Hunter, can you make it like
you just lack imagination.
Can you make like a top 10, like maybe a video explaining your disdain for Minecraft?
And then we can never talk about it again.
You might as well.
At
I can
some
also
point,
make
maybe
a
we
top
need to
10
add.
of why Rogue One is a terrible movie. I can
Well,
do
fine.
that list as
I
well.
mean, fine, go for it.
At some point, do we need to start like a second weekly series where we just like yell at each other? So we can
Yeah,
get
I
more
mean-
yelling out of
I mean,
this.
I don't
video.
yell at anybody else, but you guys can yell at me. I'm used to it.
Okay. Well, I think in the future, Hunter will make videos of describing things, games and movies he does not like, and then he'll just reference them in the podcast.
Yeah. Well, for the record, even though Hunter does not approve of my game choices, they're both very fun, very relaxed, and just all around a good chill time. If that's what you're looking for.
I've not
Yeah,
said
Yeah.
anything about Stardew Valley. I've never played, so I can't speak on it. I have played Minecraft, and it sucks.
One time.
Yeah. But these are games I'm sure you can play with younger relatives too.
Yeah, and actually, we have a Realm, which I think is like $8 a month right now, and we frequently have like 8 to 9 people on there. We have like me and all of my siblings and their significant others and a friend and my dad and my cousins, and we're all on at the same time.
Nice.
So yeah, it's a good time. We got like a Discord channel to go with it, so we can have voice chats, and it's like a whole shebang right now. It's a good time.
Yeah.
Fun.
Yeah. I would enjoy something like that with my family. I'm sure I could find a couple of them that would play something like that. But as my video game setup is a work in progress.
If you really want to change my mind on that, I would be up for trying it. If you
I was gonna say you could come to our realm.
Yeah, if you want to make
You
one,
just come to
invite me or whatever. I'll pretend to be interested.
Join their realm, Hunter.
Come join our realm. You'll see all the wonderful things that we've built.
Cross over into their dimension.
Yeah.
Into their world of pure imagination.
We killed the dragon recently. That was fun.
There's a dragon?
Yeah.
Maybe you should have saved that. Maybe save a dragon for Hunter to kill.
Maybe.
Then he would like it.
Okay.
Yeah. Another game that I have I will mention. It's a one you have to pay for, but it's Broforce. I'm sure Hunter has heard of it.
I feel like I've heard of it.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is.
Yeah, I know that one.
Yeah, it's a bit older. I think they had to release the last like DLC content stuff in like 2016, but it's one that some of my friends are still playing every once in a while. It's just you're kind of going through this side-scrolling,
platformer,
just shooting down enemies, and you're taking the moniker of all of these famous action heroes, all broed up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever actually played it, but my little brother was into it for a long time.
Oh yeah. I think I played it once back in like college, but you can play as like Blade and Walker Texas Ranger, Judge Dredd, Terminator, Rambo, just all these like all these guys all broed up. They have like broed. They have their names. Their names are broed out too.
Yeah,
which is a good time to play.
Yeah,
and you can play it with your bros.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay.
So much for your sexism. Hunter probably knows about this. No, it's me.
Okay.
I know. I'm just kidding.
Well, watching How I Met Your Mother, we all know that bros can be chicks too.
Yeah. Duh.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Now who's being sexist, Hannah?
Ooh.
Yeah, so I got a couple others. Another one that Hannah knows of. I'm pretty sure we played it because it was free. I haven't played it in a while, though, was Deceit.
Yeah, I was going to mention that.
Yeah, and I really liked Deceit. Again, it's kind of like Werewolf or Secret Hitler, anything like that, except, it's online. So it's really cool. There's like 2 infected players, I think, and you're in you start in like a pretty small building that's like losing its power, and you have to everyone has to kind of run around and try to get the power back on, and the 2 infected players are obviously disguised for the most part. You run around, you try to sabotage everybody, but without them knowing. And then like the lights go out eventually, and the 2 infected players can like turn into these monsters and go around and kill everybody. It's pretty awesome. And but you have a limited time till the lights come back on, then you move on to the next building, and then you still have to be like, wait, okay, this person killed me, or it wasn't me, it was this person, they did something sketchy, and you can totally lie about that. That's how you get through a lot of the games. It's really fun.
Yeah.
I've been trying to get you guys to play it. Again, Hannah played it. I tried to get Trevor to play it. I think we tried to get you to play it too, Josh, but I don't know.
This was a one on Steam. I think we were trying to get to play that last fall.
Yeah, I think it was around October that we played it.
Yeah.
Because I think it was
we were
like
doing
Halloween.
spooky games.
Yeah.
Yeah. Was this like you were wearing like a bunny hat or bunny like mask or something like that?
I mean, that's kind of their logo.
Yeah.
I don't think you did that in game, but
okay, I added it to my my wish list, or more
It's
of like
free.
I know, but I added it to my list because I couldn't download it at the time because of my, we were having some internet problems.
I understand.
Yes, please understand.
Is my turn again?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, my other submission is a little bit different, but recently tested and I think generally approved of. We had our friend group game night just last Saturday, and we played some Jackbox games.
Yeah, we did. We played a lot of Jackbox games too.
We did, yeah. I actually spent $30 on y'all and bought the most recent pack.
Nice.
Which had
That's
some really,
6,
really
right?
cool games.
Oh yeah.
That's 6. That's the one we played mostly, right? I don't think Josh played any of those.
Nope, because Josh went to eat a hot dog and then never came back. It was weird.
Yeah.
No, I played Trivia Murder Party.
No,
we played.
This one had, I think, Trivia Murder Party 2,
Mm-hmm.
And it had like role models.
Yeah, that was fun. And
Joke Boat. Like the Joke Boat.
Okay,
it had a lot of cool ones.
Yeah, it was fun. But we did it through Zoom meetings, and I hosted everything because I work online. So like I do think you probably have to have a pretty good like internet connection to both host a Zoom meeting and be playing this game at the same time. You have to have a pretty good computer and stuff. But if you have all of that, then it's a really good time. We had a blast. I think we had a couple like lag issues just because people were like on their computers and on their phones, and everyone had bunches of technology going at once. But it was a really, really good time.
Oh, yeah.
And you don't necessarily have to be able to see the main screen for some of them. So that could hypothetically make it easier.
Yeah,
definitely.
You can still see all the prompts on your phone. Yeah. It's fun. It's funny to see how that was kind of more the like, oh, invite your friends over, get your friends all together, crowd around the screen and play Jackbox games. But now it's becoming one of those games you can play wherever you can have an internet connection.
Yeah, and I figured it would work because I've seen people stream it on Twitch before and have like people from their communities play. So you can join a game from basically anywhere as long as you have the right code. So distance is not really an issue there, as long as you have some way of sort of broadcasting the main screen to people. And Zoom is a perfectly reasonable way of doing that. Yeah. So, or anything. I feel like Discord would also work, and I don't know if Skype has like a screen share option, but I know Discord does. Discord does. Yeah, you have to have a video chat going, but then they do have a screen share option. So anytime you have a screen share option, or if you have a Twitch account and can stream it, you might end up with random people playing with you, but but that would work as well. So anyway, you can get the main screen out there.
Does anyone still use Skype?
I don't know. My computer keeps wanting me to use it. It's like, hey, Skype is here, and I'm like, I know, go away.
I used Skype like once. I don't know, like 10 years ago or something.
Yeah,
I'm like, I don't like this.
Yeah, it was. I think with Skype being so like forceful, like, hey, I'm here, ready to use me, ready to talk to somebody. Which
give away Skype.
Which I don't think most people did back then, but now we do that more often. So I guess Skype could come back into play.
I also wonder, does Facebook have a screen sharing thing? Because I know that I've heard of a couple of like gamers streaming games on Facebook, and so I imagine they must have a screen share function. I don't know like how you make that happen.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
We might have to try that out.
I don't know. Look into that. Let us know.
Yeah. Can do. All right. Another entry I have would be another game that I was given but have not been able to play yet is Elder Scrolls Online.
Yeah, actually, I was going to mention that.
Oh, you were? Oh, cool. What have you? From what it looks like in playthrough stuff, it's you and someone else are going through a mission together. How does it feel as far as versus like regular Skyrim?
Well, so it's that's honestly one that I have had a kind of hard time really getting into, just because it feels, it doesn't feel quite as heavy gameplay wise, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Everything's kind of light, like you're pressing like buttons. It's set up like an MMO, so you have buttons that do attacks and everything, so you're not like it's not like Skyrim where you're like holding up a shield and then like swinging a sword, or like pressing a certain button to do like a shout and all that. It's more, you press a button and it initiates like a very specific kind of attack or a very specific ability, and it does something and it has a cooldown on it. So it's very MMO-ish. And yeah, so I don't know. And it feels like it takes a long time to get anywhere.
Yeah.
But, when you're playing with other people, it also has that sense of competition, with it's like you're trying to get better gear and leveled up faster so you can be on par with like everybody else playing the game. But I mean, if you enjoy that, and if you enjoy MMOs and you enjoy Skyrim or Elder Scrolls, then yeah, I mean, I say it's a great game. I played it in beta, I think, either beta or alpha, and I liked it then. I actually played it probably most during that time than since it's actually been launched. But it's got some good stuff in it.
Okay, I was kind of hoping they'll be really similar to actual Skyrim Elder Scrolls, and it'll be you and someone else being able to play, switch to first person or third person and just kind of play together. Okay, from the couple of screenshots that I did see or videos, it was like, oh, just third person, but it didn't quite look the same. So I was like, I don't know I don't know.
It definitely doesn't look the same. Again, I've played a good number of MMOs, so if you are familiar, then you see the style pretty much looks the same, generally speaking, across the board. And yeah, it does pretty much do that. Obviously, again, it has a very everything is Elder Scrolls themed, basically.
Yeah.
But it's, yeah. And again, you can switch between third person and first person. And of course, you can play with friends if you have other people to play. I'm pretty sure, you have to pay for it though. So that's not a free one at all. They are one of the games that they like to charge for just about everything they can.
Well, it might deter some people that are probably a little strapped for cash around this time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, I asked. That was.
Oh, you good.
But you got it.
Yeah. But if you're not good with I'm sure there are plenty of other MMOs you can play. World of Warcraft. I think I believe I mentioned in a previous episode about Poke MMO. You can play Pokemon with by like go through the storyline. But you can play alongside your friends and go through all the regions. I think they have 4 regions out now. Well, except Kanto, Hoenn, Sinnoh, and Unova. Yeah, so they have those games online. Yeah.
Cool.
Hannah or Hunter, did you have a?
Yeah, well, so I mean, I was gonna just. I guess you and I, Josh, were kind of in the same line.
Yeah.
I had the whole. I was just gonna mention MMOs like in general and just list a bunch. So you listed some that I wouldn't list, but for me, there's also some free ones that I'm pretty sure are free, or at least free to an extent. DC Universe Online, I believe, is pretty free. I played that for a while. It's fun. It's been a while since I played it, so
yeah,
I don't know exactly
that was still online.
Yeah, I don't know the current state of the game, but it was fun. There are a lot of superpowers and stuff that you would have to pay for, or you can have. Yeah, they're one of those that you can pay per like thing after what's free, or you can like pay a subscription and you get like everything pretty much. World of Warcraft is free to a point. and then you can buy it, but it's usually not all that expensive. You would have to buy like the most recent expansion if you want that content, and then it's a $15 a month subscription maximum.
Are you familiar with Neverwinter?
Yeah, I've played Neverwinter a bit, a few times, but
one.
I'm not up to date. It's Dungeons and Dragons, right?
Yeah, it's an MMO RPG type thing, but it's Dungeons and Dragons universe, and they do seem to have pretty frequent updates, and it seems to be a pretty hoppin' place. I played it pretty consistently for like a couple months there, and it's definitely a good time, especially if you're into the D&D stuff. And not to derail from you, because we are going to come back to you, but definitely one of the things on my list is, and I'm trying to get organized, is a game of Dungeons and Dragons on Roll20, because there are some online places where you can do that. But if you don't have a DM, which I'm trying to learn how to do, Neverwinter is a good sort of alternative.
So is that do you like find a DM there, or do you?
It's more of an RPG. Yeah, it's more of an MMORPG.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah. So some others that I really enjoy for a long time. This is actually one of the games I'm kind of like with World of Warcraft with, where I'll really get into and I'll love and I'll play for like a few months, and then I'll just be like, I'm exhausted from this game. I don't want to play it for like a year.
Yeah, you kind of burn yourself out.
Yeah, Star Wars: The Old Republic. I love that game. I got it at launch, and I got like the big collector's edition. I still have the box like in my closet. It's really cool. But and now it's free where you can play like every class. There are like 6 or 8 classes. There's 8 classes, and they all have a really good fleshed out story. It's a BioWare game when BioWare was good. Before Andromeda, Mass Effect Andromeda and all that, and Anthem. But it's good. It's again very MMO like because it is an MMO. But you can play as a Sith warrior, a Sith Inquisitor, a Jedi Knight, Jedi Consular, which are basically the equivalents. And you got like a trooper, scoundrel.
The Sith.
So the Sith you can play as the warrior or the Inquisitor.
Sweet.
You have it. I mean, I recommend looking it up. You also have like a sniper. That's not what they're called though. It's an Imperial agent, I think, is what they are.
Does a sniper just throw lightsabers at people?
Actually, the sniper is a subclass, I guess, in the Imperial agents thing. You also can do bounty hunters, which are really cool. And you have your dialogue choices, and they can affect your character. You have light side, dark side meter. I think it's just a really great game. There's a lot of good stuff to it, and some of the extra expansions and stuff. Some of that content is also really good. And that's one that you can also play through almost entirely single player, but you also have options for multiplayer stuff. A lot.
And if Star Wars isn't your cup of tea, there's also a Star Trek Online, which I have only played very briefly. But basically what I'm learning from this is like figure out what you're into and go find an MMO, because we got some sci-fi, we got some fantasy, we got some Pokemon, we got a little bit of everything.
Yeah, and I could probably keep going with this, but I'm not going to. The only other one I'm going to mention, because I'm just going to shout out, because I've only played, I'm looking at my Steam thing, I only have 88 minutes played, and it's free. It's Warframe. I don't know if you've heard of it, but it's pretty good. I remember it being really fun, but for some reason I never seem to really feel like I want to go play it again.
Maybe that's one you have to play with other people, like say like go in with someone else and play for a certain period of time.
Could be.
That way you don't burn yourself out or lose interest.
I also just remember the gameplay feeling pretty unique and really fun, just really action oriented and everything.
Yeah,
it's really cool.
Yeah. I have some honorable mentions.
What about Hannah?
I don't get another turn.
Over Hannah.
I thought she took her turn. Oh well, go ahead.
No,
Hannah.
I did not. I didn't know such thing.
She interrupted me like I interrupted you.
Yeah. Doesn't count as my turn. My final 2, I don't have a ton to say about them, so I'm going to kind of throw them together just because they're good. Borderlands, I definitely feel like is to me, it plays very similarly to something like Skyrim, except more sci-fi. Just in terms of like you're wandering around and you can do these little side quests, and it just kind of has a similar sort of feel. So if you're into Skyrim and are looking for something similar but multiplayer, that's what I found. That was
And
like
with
kind of the
guns.
same. It's
Ooh.
with guns instead of swords and stuff, but it's a good time.
I will real quick also mention though that Borderlands, if anyone's not familiar, it's a lot more story driven than Skyrim.
It is, and there's no like wandering around and picking flowers and making potions, but it has a very similar sort of like action style, if you could call it that, and it is multiplayer.
Action comedy adventure stuff. Action comedy adventure versus Skyrim's like fantasy adventure.
Yeah. But they're kind of neighbors.
Do your own thing.
Yeah, but that's a big one that I enjoy, and the other one is Left 4 Dead. It's been around for a while, but it's a classic. It's super fun, and if you're not looking for something that's super mental,
not
looking for something that's super story driven, just looking to use a chainsaw on some zombies
Go shoot
and
zombies.
get out some frustrations that way.
Yeah, again
Left 4 Dead's
with your friends / family.
Yeah, and that's up to 4 players.
Strangers.
Yeah, so I like it because I'm one of 4 siblings, and so all 4 of us can play it together. So it's like a family game for me.
Fun for the whole family.
I also feel like this is a little bit of a, I don't know, alternative, but now a more recent one is World War Z. Reminded me a lot of that. I think I mentioned it before, but it feels very similar, but it's a little bit different. It's like third person instead of first person. It carries a lot of the same ideas with it.
Yeah, I'm sure everybody's still, going back to the everything we're talking about, like classic games or games where we usually play online or with friends, or you have your fighting games like Dragon Ball Z Fighters, the new Mortal Kombat. Don't forget your classic shooters like Halo, Call of Duty, Gears of War. If you haven't played them in a while, just pick them up. Get a friend and play through. You might have a good time.
Honorable mention for fighting games. If you guys have never played Stick Fight, it's a blast. You're just a little stick figure with a gun, and you like running around trying to kill each other on like a platformer kind of thing. It's super fun.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's very silly.
Yeah, and then you have your a racing game I'll mention, which I've probably mentioned before. It's Rocket League. The game's been.
League.
Yep,
that's not a racing game. I mean, it's cars, racing, but it's soccer with cars, rocket-powered cars.
I misspeak, but it's Rocket League. It's its own type of game, but you can play with your friends or strangers or by yourself. But let's all try to play with someone else during this.
I would say the only thing, I always think Rocket League should be free to play, and it's not, and that's one thing that kind of, I don't know.
Yeah. I feel like they have such a wide market, or they have a wide audience of people that play from all over. So, and it's a very flashy game. So they're like, pay us money. And
they do give you a lot of cosmetics and stuff, like just every time you play a match, pretty much.
Yeah. Now that much being said, according to my Steam, Rocket League's on sale for $10 for the next 3 weeks. So.
Wow.
Nice.
Holy crap.
That's Get it good. Now.
I would.
Steal. Get it while it's hot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, just one more I want to mention, because I've been playing a lot of Civilization. So if you're looking for something that's very brainy, Civilization or Age of Empires. Oh yeah, absolutely. Okay. Civilization, Age of Empires, those sort of like culture society building games that take 6 hours to complete.
Yeah.
It's a good time. It's good.
Yeah.
I'm saying that a lot today.
Of course, there's always like Monster Hunter World. That's I was a little put off by it because I think it's like only multiplayer. And I just kind of wanted to do stuff on my own when I played it. But there's also like arena shooters if you're into that. Like Quake Champions is still a thing now. And maybe some if you're a more hardcore type gamer, I guess, but still like doing multiplayer. I think Dark Souls and Bloodborne are really fun to do multiplayer. But you gotta look for people, and also
as committed.
Yeah, But also with if you're looking for something more puzzly, of course, me and Hannah every once in a while will stream the We Were Here series. So there's 3 of them. There's We Were Here Together. No, We Were Here 2, TOO, and then We Were Here Together, which they're all fun. I mean, especially if you're smart like me and have to do basically all of it yourself and tell Hannah what to do. I mean, tell your co-op partner what to do.
Shade, I just heard shades.
And lies.
It is lies.
Shade and lies.
I'm terrible.
Shady
But,
lies.
Also those are others that I think they're on sale right now.
And they're a little bit
for how long.
spooky. And if spooks aren't your thing, there's also Portal 2.
Yeah.
Basically, there's lots of games, and we don't have
Portal
time
2
to talk anymore.
You're gonna say Portal 2 isn't creepy, like with GLaDOS there?
It's
Maybe
creepy, but it's not scary.
not spooky.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not atmospherically spooky.
Okay. I mean, I don't think of We Were Here as atmospherically spooky. It actually kind of takes you by surprise when it is spooky. I think that's the thing about it.
Well, and that's why it's spooky to me, because I have a fear of the unknown. But moving on.
It's all a spectrum. But with that being said, call your friends, text your friends, Zoom your friends, and see if you guys can play a multiplayer game together. Change things up a little bit.
Yeah, there's lots of good options, and there's also a lot of cheap options. So even though you might not be doing great right now, like at the end of the day, I always tell people like $10 on a game versus $10 on a movie, like you're gonna get so much more of your money's worth out of a game.
Yeah.
So spend a little bit now, and I promise you'll be playing hopefully until this thing's over.
Yes, which is hopefully soon.
Hopefully.
But that's most of the time. That's mostly all the time we have for this week's episode. What are we talking about next week?
Next week, that's me. I can double check, which I'm doing right now.
Military fiction.
I believe it's. I was gonna say I believe it's military fiction, which for me that mostly means. Well, that's gonna mean a lot of stuff. Largely for me right now, I've been thinking Tom Clancy stuff. But obviously there's other things included, and we'll get more into that next week.
Yeah,
I might not have a lot to say on that one.
Okay.
We'll dive in anyway.
Yeah.
But as always, that is Nerd Variety Podcast. We will be seeing you all next week. Until then, nerd out.
See ya.
Farewell. Sayonara.
Bye.